Okay, so what I'm working on now is the wood bed. I got my wood out here. Now I'm going to try gluing these together with super glue, basically. And it's the medium thickness gap filling, this stuff. Because it dries so it's, cures so quickly. So I'll just do one at a time and see how it goes. And if this doesn't work, I'll just have to try something else, because I've never done this before. Just put a little bit of glue on the edge. And lay it down. I'm just holding it. You probably can't see it in the camera very well, but I'm holding it in place just so it grabs. And then I'll proceed to the next one. Yeah, I kind of messed that one up. I'll try that again. It's okay if you get glue on the back side, because I'm going to be sanding it anyways. But still, I'm going to try not to get glue on the back side. Yeah, I mess up a lot. And I have a tendency to glue my fingers more than the thing I'm trying to glue. That's pretty normal with super glue. I just hold it for, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. Now, this one right here, there's a little bit of a gap, very small gap, but I don't think it'll matter because I'm going to sand this all down and get it to fit into the bed, and then I'll probably stain it and then clear coat it, and then the rails that the boards actually slip into in real life, I'll probably do that by masking off right over the cracks and then using my chrome pen, so when it comes down to it you won't see the crack because it'll be covered with chrome and clear coat. That's my thinking anyways. We'll see how it works out. Okay, so that's all glued up. It'll need to be nicely sanded, but hopefully that will work. Okay, so what I have here is put a piece of masking tape upside down with the sticky side up, and then I taped it down so it won't go anywhere. And I use that just to put my parts on it. I always clean them up with a knife first and wipe them down with like rubbing alcohol to get any grease from my hands off of them. And now I'm going to go out and do some priming. I have to prime these parts. And then over here I have my engine, my basic block of the engine assembled, and I'm going to prime that as well at the same time. So let's go out and prime some parts. Okay, so I'm going to mix up some primer here, and I'm using the Vallejo primer, surface primer. This is the gray, and I mix in a little bit of black too, just because I find this to be a little bit too light. I like to darken it up a little bit. So I'll go ahead and do that. The airbrush I'm using is the Iwata Eclipse HPCS, and I have a 0.5 tip on it. It lets a little bit thicker material go through it, and it makes the spraying go a little smoother. So I've already cleaned it up pretty good, so it's ready to go. Usually what I do is, after I shake the primer up, I just put certain amount in, and it really doesn't matter how much you get in there, because I sometimes I'll save this. So I filled up about that much, and then I got my Vallejo thinner, and no specific amount, I mean there is, but I just put it in there until it looks right to me. There's also, let's see here, this is the flow improver, and it helps it so that it doesn't build up on the tip of the airbrush. I just put a couple of drops of that in there. And then I stir it up with a stir stick. You can get these stir sticks, they're basically just coffee mixers, and you can get them really cheap on Amazon. I want it about the consistency of like low fat or skim milk, and you just take a little bit and it'll kind of run down the side of the airbrush there, and usually that's about right. Sometimes you have to add a little more thinner if it's not spraying right. So now I'm ready to go, and I hook up my air. Okay, I'm spraying, let's see if I can adjust it here, about 20 to 23, somewhere in that range. I basically just go by how it comes out, and I adjust it as necessary. So I have all my parts sitting here. Okay, so I moved the camera. This is my respirator here. Obviously it needs to be changed, but I'm doing acrylics, so it's not really that serious. So now I kind of sound muffled because I'm wearing the respirator. Okay, I am your father. Alright, so let's see what we can do. So you just kind of get a spray pattern. With the acrylics, you want to make sure you don't put it on too heavy. Just do it in layers, then dry it with a hair dryer, then do another layer. Okay, so that's basically it, and now I just have to get a fresh piece of tape and then turn all the parts over and do the other side, so that allows it both sides to be painted evenly. As you can see, I've put the engine on a toothpick so that I can paint it easier. So I'll go ahead and paint that now. Okay, so that's the engine all primed and ready for color. I think it came up pretty good. First time I did the other parts, I forgot to put the black into the primer, so this time I remembered some of my grays a little bit more darker. Okay, so now that I've got everything primed, I've got it all ready to go for color. You'll notice two different colors of primer. This is a white primer. This is the Duplicolor sandable primer. They also make a dark gray that basically looks black. I really would like to find some of the same stuff but in a light gray between the dark gray and the white. But for now I've been just using the white, and it works really good for body parts. And then over here I have the some of the interior parts and some of the exhaust pieces. These are all primed up, ready to go. I'm thinking of doing a kind of a orangish tan sort of color on the interior, and then I'll do the dash in the body color. And I got more parts over here. This is basically the wheels and the engine parts. And then, as I showed earlier, I got the engine all primed and ready to go. And then I got the bed all squared up, and it's basically a preliminary fit, and it fits nicely in the bed of the truck. But what will happen after I put the color on this and then put clear coat over it, it will change the size of it. The space will get smaller, so I will have to resize this, and then I'll go ahead and stain it and clear coat this. But for now it fits just fine. I haven't decided if I'm going to glue it in or not. We'll see. One of the tricky things about this kit is the firewall and the wheel wells. They have to be put in separately after the interior box has gone into the cab of the truck. Otherwise you won't be able to get it in. But you have to glue these pieces separately, and it's a little bit tricky getting them to fit right. But I don't know, I think I got it pretty good. There's still a bit of a gap, but we'll see how it goes. So hopefully on the next video I'll do some color on the engine and do some body color. Here's my color here. I think I showed that last time. So, Lord willing, see you on the next video. God bless.